Welcome back to my channel. So, my hair's wet because I just took a shower. Today, since I'm like really hungry and I don't know what else to eat, decided to eat cheese ramen. Oh my god! I should have bought extra cheese. But today's Sunday, so if I'm lucky, we have extra cheese, like mozzarella cheese, but I don't think we do. And then we're gonna try to make tteokbokki. I have the sauce here. The tteok is in the fridge right now. The only thing that kind of concerns me about the sauce is that it's pineapple flavored. I don't know. But yeah, so we're gonna try that out. I hope everything goes well and I hope it tastes good, because if not, kind of a waste of money. But yeah, so let's head on over to the kitchen stove and whip up some tteokbokki and cheese ramen.
This is the tteokbokki. It is tubular type. Yeah, so the reason why I'm making both things is because, so like, I did a poll on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, and you're kind of interested in what I post there, you can go over there and check it out if you're fancy. Yeah, I did a poll in my story asking if I should do cheese ramen or if I should do tteokbokki, and it came out 50-50. And then I asked if I should do both of them in one sitting or if I should film them separately, and I got 50-50 again. So we're just gonna do this all in one sitting because I'm hungry anyway. So I found a different recipe online, and it says that I need to first soften the rice cakes by putting them in warm water for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna do that right now. So I got my water, and then we're gonna open this here on the side.
Oh, it's stinky. Why does it smell like that? Then we're just gonna... I'm just gonna put... Oh my god, what is that? Do not eat. Well, damn, I almost would have. So, the cheese...
Ramen seems to be easier to do. So, I gotta put the noodles, soup base, into the boiling water, 550 cc. What does that mean? Milliliters. Okay, why don't you just say milliliters then? And simmer for 3 to 4 minutes till the noodles are tender. Stir in cheese powder, mix into soup, and enjoy. Don't mind if I do. So, I'm gonna open this up. Okay, so, oh, it smells delicious. Oh my god. Okay, so we have the byeolchon soup cheese powder. Then we got bunma soup powder. And then we got dried vegetables. Who wants that? Gondogi soup. Gondogi soup? I'll put them in even though I don't like vegetables. So we have the noodles and soup powder into the boiling water. So we're going to boil 550 cc of water. Why do we always need to boil? 500. And let's go. 50. Boop. Boop. Oh, let me go check my stock here, if they are softened yet. They're still hard. Or what does soften mean? So the water is boiling. I'm going to put in the soup powder and the noodles. Oh my god, I think this might be my new favorite thing. I have wonderful news! I found my chopsticks! Oh my god, I got them at Neo Tokyo, and this is Sumiko Higurashi. I'll take a picture and show it. But the ramen smells so good. Oh my god. Oh my god.
case anyone likes her. So I don't know what to try.
So this is what it looks like. It smells divine, seriously, the ramen. The tteokbokki, it smells like ketchup to me. I don't know, I hope it doesn't taste like ketchup.
So we're just gonna try this out. This might sound a little ASMR-ish, but I don't think many people would mind that. And my fingers started bleeding when It is spicy. Why are you bleeding? I don't know why. What happened? Okay. Come on. I want to eat food. I'm so hungry. Doesn't really have a taste to me. I don't. But it definitely is chewy. Oh my god. I don't know. I just taste spice. But I don't taste pineapple. It doesn't have much of a flavor. Okay. So, I don't even want to try to eat the ramen with my chopsticks because I know it's not going to work out. I have crappy chopsticks. It's kind of, like low-key though. I'm sorry that I'm rolling this like spaghetti, but, leave me alone. It smells kind of like macaroni and cheese. If it tastes like that, I'm sold. Okay. I hope it's not spicy. Why would I even think it's not? I mean, it's a good amount of spice, you know? Like, it's right there. So I'm gonna try the broth. It's fine. I kind of thought it would be cheesier in the sense that I would like pull this up and you would see like cheese string, but I mean it's fine. It just tastes like cheese broth.
It tastes good. I'm happy. So just enjoy watching me eat. This is so much food. I really like the tteokbokki.
Kind of wish I had a Korean here to tell me if I actually cooked this properly. Or if like, oh my god, it's still raw. So freakishly chewy, oh my god. It's like a workout for your jaw. If you want to work on your face muscles, tteokbokki is the way to go. But yeah, but I really don't taste pineapple. Like it says it's supposed to taste like pineapple. Maybe it's like a really mild flavor. Oh my god, the spice. I still have the gondogi soup, the vegetables, but I'm not gonna ruin a pretty good ramen dish with vegetables, but I want to look what it, see what it looks like. You see, vegetables aren't good. It stinks. We don't need them.
talk about, and I think it's kind of weird if I just start, like, only eat the whole time, because then I'm going to have to speed it up, and that's a little lame.
Today I went to the English garden with my friends. We were there for a very short time, like sitting there wise, and it was kind of boring. I don't know. I kind of expected more out of it, but we were walking around so much because we couldn't find or agree on a place to actually sit. I wanted to sit by the river. My one friend didn't care where we sat, and the other didn't want to be next to the river. She wanted to be out in the grass, which I don't like because there are bugs and bees and wasps that I don't want to be near. So we ended up sitting in the grass with the wasp and the bees and the bugs I didn't want to be with. But it's okay. So that's what I did today. And then I got really hungry and I went home anyways. I took a shower and I made food. Things to talk about. There's a bug. Shoo shoo. He also wants my ramen. Why does the spice attack me? So, oh my god. In the first mukbang that I did, well, mukbang wasn't really mukbang-ish, I think. We spoke about how we got into K-pop. Kind of spoke about it because people kept coming in, which is fine, whatever. But it got me thinking, since you guys watch me react to K-pop music videos, how did you guys get into K-pop? I would like to know, because I'm a curious person. So if you would do me the kindness as to tell me in the comment section below, that would be great. So, and for those who don't know how I got into K-pop or didn't see the video, or don't really care about that video, I grew up watching anime, as every good person does. I have hair. Like Ghibli, I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly. Like their creations, those movies and stuff. I grew up watching those as a kid. Why is my finger bleeding? And and so that's how I got into it, I guess. More like the movies are iconic. They show them on TV late at night. And besides those movies like the Kiki the Witch, the Delivery Witch, I'm really bad with titles, so excuse me. Spirited Away, and then various other ones that I don't remember the name too. One with the flying castle thingy. I really liked them. Besides watching those movies growing up, I also watched like Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Pokemon, all those good stuff. Once I actually got like internet access, because I got a phone and I had more computer time, I would watch stuff like Blue Exorcist or Mirai Nikki and Attack on Titan and Tokyo Ghoul. What else have I seen? Trinity 7. Angel Beats. I love Angel Beats. It's so good. You guys should see it. If you're interested, of course. So, yeah, those are just a few of the animes that I've seen. And, of course, Death Note. I love Death Note. So I grew up watching anime, and, like, my parents didn't really like me watching that because again, the anime that I've seen are somewhat brutal. For example, School Days or another. I always forget what the anime is called. I'll put a picture here somewhere. It's about this green girl or green-haired girl, and I think the other one has pink hair, and they try to kill each other or something like that. In most of the animes that I watch, people are trying to kill each other. As good old-fashioned Mirai Nikki. And so my parents never really liked, they would always look over my shoulder and be like, turn that off, like, don't watch that. I remember when my mom came into my room when I was watching Tokyo Ghoul, and she was like, oh my god, what are you watching there? And I was like, get out! It's Tokyo Ghoul, you don't understand. And so, because of anime, I would always listen to Japanese music, so like the theme song, the opening theme song, the ending theme song, and that got me into listening to J-rock, which is Japanese rock music, and I love it. And like there are different sounds, I guess. It's kind of hard to explain. I listen to like visual kai. It's how they're dressed, and then there are different types of kais, I guess. And so it's based on like their style. And some of them wear dresses, like full makeup and everything. Some kind of dress up satanic-ish in a way, but you know, you gotta get into it to understand it. And so my ultimate Japanese rock band is Diara. I love them. They saved me. It was my emo phase, I guess. So whenever I hear his voice, I just get flashbacks to that time, and it's just wonderful to me. If you guys are interested, I will leave like my recommendations in the description box, so you guys can check them out as well, because they're really good, and the animes too. So hard to eat this. Yeah, so I listen to like Diara and the Gazette, Rookies is Punked, 1OK Rock, which I went to their concert a couple months ago, which was amazing. It was the second time I went, but this time I was a VIP, and it was so cool, and I wanted to make a video of the concert experience because I did film, but my camera is being crappy and he doesn't want to cooperate with me, so it's gonna take a while till that video even comes about. So tell me in the comment section below if you're interested in that video, because I've been trying for the longest time to actually get the video footage out of the camera, but it just won't. I don't know why. So yeah, those are just a few that I listened to, and so I got like really deep into J-rock, heavy metal, soft rock, and the different types of Japanese rockish music. For example, like An-Cafe or An-Cafe, I'm not sure how you really pronounce it, but they're more of a softer J-rock band. And there's also LMC, which I also very much love. And so because of that, when I came across Blue Exorcist back then, I was like, I loved the anime so much that I, downloaded the music, the opening theme song, the ending theme song, and I wanted to know more about 2 PM basically. So their song was Take Off, and I really loved it so much. There was even like the anime version of it where the characters in the anime were dancing to it, which I thought was adorable, and I was like, oh my god, their Japanese sounds so good. I bet they're Japanese. They're not. They're Korean. And so when I Googled them, I was like, okay, 2 p.m., 2 p.m. Who are they? And it said that they do K-pop. And so I was like, what's K-pop? Like, I never heard of K-pop. I don't know what it is. The only time I came across it was when when my school was blasting Psy's Gangnam Style in our lunch break time, like out in the open of the school. Like, it was playing everywhere, and people were going insane about the song, and I couldn't hear it anymore because everyone was listening to it. My ramen is cold. It almost hit me what this tastes like, but then I forgot it. I know this taste from somewhere. Hello?
Hello.
What?
So where do you want to watch JOJO then?
In the living room.
Okay.
He and his JOJO, seriously. He's making me watch JOJO. I mean, it's not bad. Like, once you get to the 3rd season, you know it's going somewhere. But the 1st and the 2nd are a little like, what's going on? But let's talk about JOJO later. So, Blue Exorcist, 2 p.m., Korean. Yeah, so that's how I kind of got interested in Korea and K-pop and all. And because of 2 p.m., like, I listened to their music and everything, and then I was like, oh, it was very bland. I was just Google K-pop music, and then open. And then the first thing that I saw was was SM Town 2012. I don't remember which month it was, but they were in Japan. And so I wrote, if I find the paper, I'll put a picture up, because I wrote on a piece of paper all the groups and the song that they performed that I liked, and so I could like Google them later. But yeah. I got deeper into K-pop, but I was more into underrated groups. I thought they were more interesting than the very popular ones like Big Bang, Girls' Generation, yada yada yada. So I was like really into XOM. I loved XOM. And I don't know, it's not that I didn't like the Korean members, but the music was just, I don't know, it sounded like it was made more for the Chinese members, because when they translated it in Korean, it just didn't seem right, you know? It just seemed like, okay, you can tell it was translated from a different song. It felt more like they were making the songs for XOM and then just translating it for XOK. That's what it seemed like to me. But, yeah. And, I was really into Tiara and A-Pink and Tiny G, Teen Top, 4 Minute. What other groups were there? Sistar. And then like BTS. Oh my god. BTS got 17. I was watching 17 TV back then, where they were supposed to be 17 members. Good water. Yeah, and that's how I got into K-pop. So, because I'm very curious, I would like you guys to write down below how you got into K-pop. What group brought you into K-pop? What song? If you also came from anime. If you have any anime recommendations, please let me know. Speaking of anime, my brother is making me watch JOJO. Something Adventures. What is it? Bizarre Adventures. Can't speak anymore. But yeah, I actually kind of prefer the horror genre of anime, or like thriller. Well, actually, it's a little too much. Maybe just a tad, which is what's it called? Corpse Party. That's a little on the edge. Like a finger over the line, kind of. Corpse Party is just, I never quite understood what exactly was going on, because I always stopped watching because I was just way too terrified. But essentially it's corpses. Pretty sure it sounds like a Netflix movie. Or like, it sounds like Scream. It's basically the Scream series. But yeah, that always creeped me out. I don't think I ever finished watching it. But the sound effects in that anime are like really good, and something otakus really admire and love, and know that an anime makes a good anime when it has very good sound effects. Doesn't matter if the drawing of it is like HD or 4K or whatever. Sound effects. And the plot, of course. But yeah, I actually like, because I don't really like, I don't want to hate on it, but it's a little, so someone recommended me, Reincarnated as a Slime, and, like, I watched it, but it was a little too happy dandy, even though there were a few scenes where it was, like, kind of my style, you know, fighting and blood, but still it was a little too happy, I guess. I still watched it, but still, I mean, I prefer like Tokyo Ghoul and Death Note and stuff like that. Or Mirai Nikki. I think I'll go when I finish these last 2 forks of ramen. The spice in both foods are actually quite okay. Like, if you inhale right after you eat it, then it kind of stings, but otherwise, it's pretty good actually. Yeah. I hope that is ASMR-ish enough. I did a poll on my Instagram asking if I should do my roots, because I know there are people who don't like roots because they think it's ugly and such, but I don't know, I kind of want to do them, but 9 people told me not to, and it kind of sounded like they were yelling at me like, no, don't do it. But I'm kind of bored of my hair, you know. I want to do something with something with it. I get bored like that. I even thought about getting a tattoo, and I was pretty close to making an appointment, but I didn't do it in the end. One day I'll get a tattoo. JOJO. So my brother made me watch JOJO. One, I think it's kind of weird, not because of the anime, but my brother coming to me, telling me to watch an anime, because he always used to make fun of me for watching anime, and now he watches anime. My baby brother is stealing my identity. Yeah, and he also made me watch Berserk, which was okay, I guess. It was a little bit weird. I was like, Carlos, what am I watching here? Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. But maybe it's like JoJo. The first season is like a little, what's going on? But then it gets better. And I think it only got better because the drawing style changed. So all there is left is the broth, but I don't want to drink it because it's cold, and I don't want to push it with the spice because okay, this is gonna make me sound like a baby, but when Lena and I were trying out the spicy ramen, the buldak ramen, I got really sick afterwards. Like, not just on the day, but the days afterwards. I didn't feel good. Sorry, at all. I had stomach ache. I felt like I was gonna die. I was very nauseous and I didn't feel good at all. I've never eaten spicy food before in my life, and I guess I just pushed it on that day with those 8 forks of buldak bobomyeon. And yeah, and so I almost threw up twice. It wasn't on camera, it was off camera, but I felt so sick that I didn't really like it. So when eating this, I'm afraid that I might push it too far, even though it's not that spicy, but I still my body remembers oh, I remember when I ate spicy food, it made me sick, so let's just throw it up right now before it happens. But yeah, it's a soft spice, I guess, but my body just remembers that awful memory of it. Yeah. So I know I didn't eat much of the tteokbokki, but it's very chewy. I have a small stomach, so I'm already full. But it tastes good. That was not attractive, I'm sorry. I'm really worried that I didn't cook it right. It's like bubblegum. I love doing that with bubblegum. So, oh, really quick about JOJO. Oh, it's not spicy anymore. What happened to my finger? So, when I watched the first season, I was kind of confused because they were drawn very strangely. And my brother explained to me, yeah, it gets better, And it does. So, Jonathan Joestar was the first JoJo in season 1. And he's like this rich boy. And I don't know if that was a spoiler right now. I'm gonna bleep it out, but yeah, so Jonathan, he's an only child, and his dad, what? In the first episode, you see, this mother and this father, and they have, this carriage accident, and then there's the baby who is Jonathan, and they're gonna die because of this accident, right? And then this old creepy man, he's walking by, and he really just wants to steal their stuff. Oh, shh. My pants. So he wants to steal their stuff, but ends up kind of saving them for greedy reasons. And so in the end, he makes Jonathan's father adopt his son so that his son can have a better life. But it's really just selfish reasons because he just wants the money and everything. So that happens. Jonathan and Dio don't really get along, but they also get along, kind of. It's kind of, Dio's just playing a game with him, okay, let's just make him like me and all, but then he's, really trashy and, just overall a bad person. And then he did, really bad stuff. For example, he murdered Jonathan's dog, which I thought was, Carlos, why am I watching this? The good dog is dying. It was really shocking. And then there's like this mask. It's some sort of ancient, creepy mask that turns people into vampires when it gets put on the face. Now we have vampires in anime. Like, well, actually, there is one anime with vampires which I loved very much. I don't know if there's a second season. I remember that I was waiting for it, but I don't remember getting any news about it. Which is Diabolical Lovers with a K. But yeah, and so they get into like fights and stuff, and then they grow up, kind of in a way, go to school. Oh, this stuff takes place in England. So they go to school, they graduate, they're like best friends and everything, and then like something bad happens, and then they are arch enemies. Dio becomes a vampire, which of course, like, who wouldn't have seen that coming? And so it's then Jonathan's mission to like stop Dio, which doesn't really happen in the first season because, well, it does for a while because they thought, okay, he's gone now, but then he wasn't gone, and you know, Jonathan falls in love with this woman, they get married, they have a child together, or the baby is coming, and then Jonathan dies because it's the Joestar curse. All the JOJOs. Well, I assume all of them are gonna die, which makes me really sad because I'm starting to like the second season and third season JOJO, and I don't want them to die. But they keep saying it's the curse, so I like, okay, they're gonna die, I know what's coming, I have to prepare myself for it to happen. And so Jonathan dies, right? And Dio tries to take over his body, which is strange, because why would you do that? The second season has then, Okay, in the second season, after they thought that they defeated Dio, Erina and Jonathan were on this boat to go to New York for a better life, you know? And Erina was pregnant then with their son, and then Jonathan died, and so Erina saved her unborn child and then another child from someone else who was a girl. That girl and Erina's son then got married, and they got then Joseph. Or he meets Smokey, they become friends, I think he becomes mayor? But he's mentioned like in the third season as well. And there are then these three, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, these three gods, Egyptian gods. Are they Egyptian gods? No, I think they're normal gods. Just gods. And like they tell the story of how they became gods and what happened and blah blah blah. There's Wamu, Kazu, and ACDC, Carlos says, is how you pronounce it. They say that, he says that the translation is wrong. It's not ACDC, but it's ACDC. So I'm just gonna take his word on this. So Joseph, he is, so wait. So Jonathan was raised to be polite to society. He needed to be a gentleman. He needed to know how to treat women right, children, and just overall a protector kind of. Then there's George, the son of Jonathan and the father of Joseph, who was a military man, but there wasn't very much said about him. Whereas Joseph, he grew up in New York and he would always get in trouble, and he was very bold and he just wanted to, you know, like live his life, be crazy, be wild, but is sweet and has a big heart. And then Jotaro is like the high school bad boy. He gets in trouble, but as the show progresses, he softens up. And so he has to fight these gods, and like he does. And it's quite interesting. He meets all these different people, they come along, they teach him about Hamon, which is some sort of technique that has to do with your breathing. You need to breathe a certain way, and you can do Hamon through your whole body and defeat evil. Which I kind of wish I could do too. Because who doesn't want to know how to do Hamon? So it's a type of energy. And he meets all these new people, and they teach him about Hamon and how to be stronger, yada yada, and they help him then to defeat these 3 gods, because they know one day Dio is gonna show up and they're gonna need all the help they can need. What is it? All the help they can need. And so he defeats the gods, right? And I thought the way he defeated Kaza was really sad, because he's lost in space. And it doesn't matter how evil and mentally disturbed he was, it was sad, because he couldn't die, because he was frozen up in space, because he was the ultimate monster or something. He was the ultimate being on the planet, because he could never die. And so in outer space he just froze because of how cold it is up there, and he just now roams around space, and he can never die, and it's sad. Yeah. So then we come, and they thought that Joseph would die, but he didn't die, so, because he's in the 3rd season as well. And Suzy Q, his wife, before she became his wife, she found him in the ocean after the fight with Kazu, and she saved him, but then forgot to tell her family that he was still alive, so they all went to his funeral, and they were all in shock, like, what, he's still alive? Like, all he lost was his hand because Kazu cut it off. I knew that was gonna happen. But, yeah, and so then Suzy Q and Kazu. My brother would have been so bad. Suzy Q and Joseph get married, and they have a child, Holly, this girl, and she marries a Japanese guy, but right now, like, no one really knows who the father is. They just know that he's gone. So Holly and her Japanese husband have Jotaro, and Jotaro is a little, I think he's like my brother. He looks exactly like my brother, and I mean, my brother is Jotaro. I don't care what he says. I know he is Jotaro, and I know he has Star Platinum defending him. My brother is Jotaro. Jotaro's my brother. Because I always tell him, like, don't you think you kind of look like him? He's like, no. And I'm like, it's so you. And the way he acts also, because he's like, oh, I'm too cool for that, you know? It's my brother, okay? Carlos is Jotaro. You heard it here first. Oh my god, I'm too into JoJo. Carlos, what did you do to me? So yeah, they live there, right? And as far as I understood was Joseph didn't go to their wedding, and he didn't know that she married a Japanese guy. And he kind of jokes around like, oh, why did she marry a Japanese guy? Like, now I have to go over there. Why can't she just be here, you know? And so he goes over and visits her, and he finally gets to meet his grandson, and he's happy about that. But Jotaro is like a little, you know, offstandish, and so they kind of like get to know each other. Holly, oh, and then Star Platinum. So because of the Joestar curse, which is basically the Dio curse. Is it the Dio curse? The curse of their family. Can't believe I'm talking about this. They all have stands, which is like their little kind of like telekinesis mixed with a ghost that just follows you around. Oh, I forgot my leg has tteokbokki sauce. And this is way too much food. So Stando, yeah, and Dio, because he wants to like get rid of these Joestar people, because, you know, he stole Jonathan's body because he was just a head. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Dio became just a head, but he managed to live just as a head and stole then Jonathan's body, which I thought is super creepy. And they all have this birthmark, which is a star, and because of that, they have like a telepathic connection to Jonathan's body, which is Dio, and they always know where he is, and Dio's afraid that they will find him one day and like put an end to right, and stop him. And so Dio tries to stop that by sending all his minions after them, and it's then their mission to stop him. And of course they think Holly doesn't know any about this. I'm pretty sure she kind of picks up on things, but like she's always not really around. And so the men, Jotaro and Joseph, they can handle their stands, which Jotaro's is Star Platinum. He has super good vision and he is super fast, so he sees everything like super quickly. And Joseph has, I want to pronounce it in the Japanese way. Hermit Purple, Hermit Purple. They say it so nicely, which is just like purple vines kind of ish, kind of tentacly. I don't quite understand it, but if he breaks like a camera or a TV, he can like get a picture of Dio's whereabouts in a way. And like kind of, I don't know, the camera is a picture of the TV, then through the TV channels can tell him like the code of where Dio is. And so all these bad guys are coming after them, and one by, well, not all of them, but a few of them, one by one, they, you know, change them and they join the gang, kind of. And they end up being Joseph, Jotaro, Abador, which is Joseph's friend, acquaintance, whatever. He has something red. I forgot right now. Then there is Polnareff, and he has Chariot. And then there's my favorite. Seriously, I'm really starting to like him, because there's only one other anime character that I really love. His name is Bakura, and I know it's from Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever, you hate me, whatever. I really love him. So, his name is Kakyoin. Kakyoin's stando is Hieropanto Green. I don't know how to pronounce it in English, I'm sorry, but it's Hieropanto Green, and it's green, so I mean, it's like this ghosty, slimy thingy. It's pretty cool. And Avado's stando is Magician's Red. It is, seriously, like there's so many Yu-Gi-Oh references in that anime. Like, there was even like a Tokyo Ghoul one, kind of a little, I was just like, oh my god. And so together they are fighting evil, right? And they meet a lot of new people. There was this one episode that really freaked me out with this orangutan. He was also a stand user, and he freaked me out because if you've seen it, you know why. If you haven't seen it, you don't need to know, because it was really disturbing. But yeah. Yeah, so right now we are on, I don't know what episode, but they're in Egypt now, where Gio is going to be, so I think something that's going to happen. These two brothers were going to stop them, which they were also kind of creepy. And, oh yeah, Kakyoin and Avador are in the hospital, and they are going to go visit them right now. And I hope they're okay. I really hope Kakyoin is okay. Because there was this other stand user who scratched his eyes out, and I was like, no, we don't know his eyes been scratched out. They're talking about, like, he might go blind. And I'm like, please don't. But yeah. And they're doing all of this to save Holly's life, because Jonathan fears, or he thinks he knows, or he knows. I don't know, I'm not sure. I mean, you can give her a little bit more credit. Maybe she could handle her stand. That she can't handle her stand and it's gonna kill her. And her stand is also kind of like viney, like his, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so they're on their way to stop Dio to save Holly's life. And I am really, like, so much suspense, and I'm really worried. But yeah, that concludes this mukbang with anime talk. You see, I need to warm this up again. It's now sticking everywhere. Yeah. Oh my goodness. For my next mukbang, I want to try out Korean snacks because I bought some Korean snacks, and I'm gonna make Kool-Aid, and I'll explain to you in that video what Kool-Aid is. It's a drink, and I really love it, so we're gonna be drinking that. And you could tell me in the comment section below, 1, how you got into K-pop, which song, what group, if you also came from anime. 2, I forgot. Recommend me some anime, some really cool ones, or what you're watching right now could also interest me. And 3, for my next Korean snacks mukbang, I would like to know what I should talk about. Like, give me some topics, and then I'll choose one, or the one that is mentioned the most, I will then choose that topic. So those 3 things. And if you don't already, you can follow me on Instagram if you are fancy. And yeah, because it's a closer setting, and you know it's a little bit easier to talk there than through like YouTube videos, because I can't talk to you like this. But yeah, you can help a girl out. If you like this video and like to see more videos, hit the like button and subscribe. Comment down below the things that I just mentioned, and ring the bell for notifications so you know when I come with a new video. Until next time, I'm sending love, Kitty sends luck, and I'm sending tteokbokki sends tteokbokki. Bye bye.